Hello, everyone, and welcome to Impossible to Say. My name is Kat Wellington.
And my name is Emily Proctor. Welcome back to another beautiful week with another gorgeous episode. This was our fourth intro for this episode, which is
We just
fine.
kept talking over each other, which I have an
Uh,
issue with, obviously, but Emily was also wiping her nose in the one that we were going to go with. So,
Sorry, I didn't want y'all to have to see that.
so here we are. I have a little visitor. If you're on the YouTube right now, here's Junie
Oh my God, he's
Jr., my
so
cat.
stunning.
He is really
Oh
beautiful.
my God, looking
And
directly
I'm
at the
not gonna
camera.
do I'm not gonna do I did so much cat talk last week, so I'm not gonna do that. But if you follow my TikTok, I gave updates. But basically, he's been flea free for a while
Flea
and
free.
flea free. I'm still combing him every day. Both cats are on medication. I bomb my whole house with a bunch of shit, which I know was probably dramatic, but I don't know when the internet's telling me I have to. And then the vet cleared him to meet Cheddar, and they've been mingling, and it's all been going pretty well. So that's the update on him, and I'll stop talking about my cats. I swear to fucking God, I will.
Well, you persevered, you got through a really tough time, you're resilient, you're a strong single mother. It's
Thank
great.
you. I'm hoping it's
Mhm.
over and not it doesn't just keep popping up, but we'll see. I have both my boys right here. I love them so much. So
I
it's
don't
it's all good.
understand. I wish they weren't being so camera shy right now. I'd love a visitor.
Well, Junior's currently in a box over there and Cheddar's just staring at me. So, yeah, I mean, I think we'll have
Perfect.
visitors throughout, but we'll see. Emily, how are
Perfect.
you?
I
I
love
can't
it.
wait to hear all about your birthday trip. We haven't talked about it at all, so we could talk about it on here. I'm so excited.
I think I had genuinely one of the best weekends of my entire life. I
Okay, well,
just
that's rude, but it's
I knew
actually
you were
less
gonna say
hurtful.
that.
It's less hurtful because you say that about every fun weekend you have. So, that makes it a little bit less
Uh,
hurtful, but still upsetting. But I'm
I was
happy for you.
I was trying to figure out how I want to approach it because I knew that you were gonna say literally both of those things. 1, well, you always say that.
Mhm.
2, well, I wasn't there. But it seriously was so much fun. I kept saying, like, I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. Like,
Aw, that makes me so happy.
it really was great. I mean, we were there for only 2 nights, so I feel like we did go pretty hard both nights, like, up until, like, 4:30 in the morning both nights,
Yeah.
trying to make the most of our time, but it was great. It was one of the best skiing days I've ever had for skiing in Western Maryland, of course. Um,
That's
wasn't that
fine.
wasn't that crowded, the sun was out, I, really wasn't cold at all, it was a little icy. I kind of had, just, a brief minor panic attack on my first run down because I hadn't skied in 2 years, and I was like, "I don't remember anything, I don't know what I'm supposed to be
Right.
doing." But it was fine, it was great. We, played Mafia all weekend long.
Oh my God, yay. I need to be playing, way more. I had so much fun when I played. I think I
It
talked about that on here, right?
Yeah, no, you did. So
Yeah.
it was such, weird timing because Margaret had brought it up, and she taught us how to play, and she did such a good job of being the narrator. She would, make
Mhm.
up these, funny ass
Yeah.
backstories. Yeah, where
It
we
is
were like,
so
"Oh my
fun.
god, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?"
I
It seriously,
know.
I mean, we beat it into the ground. It was, to a point where, the group just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and there was, a couple of us that were like, "Again, again, again." It was
That was
so
literally
much
how
fun.
that was how I felt the night we played. I wasn't the one who drove, and we were leaving after we played, so I
Mhm.
couldn't be the one making the decisions. But I was like, "Let's play again, let's play again." But I didn't want to be too vocal about it, you know?
It was so addicting, and come to find out, Alicia, who we've been best friends with for, 20 years, has been playing her entire life and has just never once decided to introduce the game to our friend group, which I was extremely hurt by,
Which
but
I think kind of it seems like everyone has, and even I think yeah, we talked about on the pod. I was like, when someone was like, "Let's play Mafia," I was thinking in my head I've played, but I really haven't. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, no, me and Casey were thinking that it was like you said, like a flashlight tag, sardine
Literally.
situation,
Don't know where I got
um
that.
No, but it was perfect, and we were in, like, I don't know, oh my god, both your boys in frame right now.
I know.
We I don't know how many people you played with, but we had there's 17 of us playing, which was, like, so
That's
much
probably
fun.
about what we had too, yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect, and then Margaret and Alicia, because they had played before, they were being the narrators for a good bit, but then they let Kyle and Doug do it. Doug, worst narrator I've ever had in my entire life. It was awful. He had no idea what was going on. I was the sheriff, and every time I would wake up and point at someone, he would just completely ignore me and be like, "Alright, sheriff, go back to bed. Everyone can wake up." I was like, "What the actual fuck?" It was
Oh,
so
I can,
funny.
like, picture that perfectly because I feel like he'd be a good narrator in the sense that he would be really funny, but he
For
just doesn't
sure.
know what's going on, yeah.
Yeah, no, he was hilarious, his stories were good, but he just, like, didn't we just weren't playing correctly at all, but,
Right.
yeah, one of the best weekends. I was trying to think what else we did. Obviously, we played baseball, the girls gave me some really good gifts. It was so good. We went snow tubing, which was
Oh,
absolutely
yeah, how was snow
hilarious.
tubing?
It was fun. Obviously, we went down the mountain twice, and we paid $50, so $25 a run, if you will.
That's what I didn't wanna say when we talked about it before and I was like, "Get drunk," is because that's, like, always been the experience that I have where I'm, like, pretty done with it after, like, twice, yeah.
Yeah, and we thought that we were gonna be able to go because we kept seeing people go down, like, together in their
Mhm.
lanes. So we were, like the girls, we were all, like, planning, like, who we were gonna go with by the time we got to the top of the mountain, because obviously you have to take the magic carpet up.
Yeah.
Um, and by the time we got up there, the guy we were like, "Alright," like, me and Casey were gonna go together, and he was like, "No, it has to be, like, someone under the age of 13 in order to go
Oh,
together," and we were like, "What
interesting.
the fuck?" So but it was fine, I mean, it was fun. My tailbone, like, kinda got whacked, but otherwise fine,
Wait,
so
so did you only go I can't remember, like, is it because there's such a long wait that it's not worth, like, going back up?
like, kind of, but even once you get, like, onto the thing to take you up, like, that's, like, I mean, 10 minutes, like, 15 minutes, so
Yeah,
it's kind of like and you're, like, really spaced out, so you can really only talk to the person in front of you and behind you, and you're still, like, 10
right.
feet apart, so you're just, like, chilling there alone, and then you have to
Yeah.
get to the top of the mountain, then you still have to wait a little bit. Um, but it was
Yeah, it
fine. It
seems
was
like it'd be a
fun.
really fun social event, but it's always more fun in theory, in my opinion. But I think it's a good alternative because I know not everyone in that group skied as well, so it's, like, fun to have an activity.
Yeah, there I think it was like half and half. Half stayed home, half went out to ski. The girls decorated the house when I got back for my
I'm
birthday, which
sure
was
they
so
did,
cute.
like,
It was so
I can
cute.
just picture Elena doing that shit, that's so cute.
Well, of course. It was so great. But yeah, it was good to get everyone out and we did like drink a good bit before we left. So it was
Yeah.
great. No complaints. It felt so good to drink again. My first drink was a tequila soda. It never tasted better. Yeah, it was good. It
Were
was great.
you do you think you got, like, more drunk because of the dry January of it all, or were you able to, like, kinda keep your same tolerance?
Yeah, no, I think I was good because I do well, the first time I did this, I was, like, kinda tweaking about that. I was worried that I was gonna black out. Um, but I think I did a pretty good job. We played baseball, and I stopped drinking during that game because I didn't wanna be, like,
And when
puking
Emily
my
says
guts up.
baseball, she means the drinking game, not, like,
Sorry.
physical
Yeah.
not baseball, just for the
Yes,
record.
precisely. Um, so I stopped drinking for that. I was keeping my cool, and obviously I was doing mushrooms, we were
Yeah,
smoking cigs, smoking weed, the trifecta.
perfect. Yeah, that's great.
So
Okay, so it
yeah,
sounds like it went as good as it could have gone. I'm so thrilled to hear that.
honestly, yeah, I was holding back tears every time I would just look around and be like, "God damn, I love these people."
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have been better if you were there,
Oh, you
but
don't need to say that. I did last minute. I was like, let me like look at flights, just see if anything's gone down. It was still like so expensive. And then I would have to fly. Part of the reason I didn't come is because I'd have to fly and there's no flights there. So then I have to fly into wherever DC or
mhm,
Baltimore and then drive. So it just would have been quite a situation. And then I couldn't because of my baby anyway. But
right, well, you just
I
gave
did debate
birth,
it. Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, I mean, the car ride feels like it's, like, 5 hours long, so that would've sucked.
I always say it's 5 hours, but I think it's like realistically like 3.
It's, like, 3.5, but
Yeah.
obviously, I went with Doug and Casey. on the way there, and we had to stop, like, genuinely 1,000,000 times, so actually did take us over 5 hours to get there, but it was fine. We were
I
having
get
fun.
so pissed when I'm driving with people that are stopping people. Like, you're either a road trip, like, let's get there person, or you're
Yeah.
a stopping person. And I do like the food aspect of a road trip. Like, I'm happy to, like, let's get one meal, keep it trucking, and
Mhm.
we only stop for gas. But I can't do the, like, stopping for pee every 3 exits and, like, I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I did have to pee every time we stopped, which, you know,
Yeah, but
obviously.
that's fine. You're not the one driving the ship, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
You
and
just went because 'cause you're there, you might as well go.
we've talked about this before. Kyle, like, when we road trip with Kyle, if we're getting food, he will stop the car and eat his entire meal
Yeah.
before we can carry on with our journey. So, obviously, on the way home, I mean, I was in no rush to get back to Kyle's parents' house, obviously. I mean, imagine drinking all weekend, staying up till 4 AM. I think I got collectively, like, 6 hours of sleep the whole time. Like, the last thing people I wanted to see with the most peace and love was my in-laws.
Yeah.
So, we did have a picnic in the Wendy's parking lot, which was
Oh,
great.
that's actually pretty. I actually, like, enjoy doing that, to be honest, but yeah, it
Yeah,
depends
we
on
were
your
in no rush.
headspace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do you still feel like you're at a place at home where it feels rude or you're worried about, like, what they'll think if you go rot in your bed for hours after something like that?
Nope, not anymore. Kyle and
Oh,
I
that's
came
great.
home yeah, came home, unpacked as quickly as possible, and spent, like, genuinely, like, 10 hours in the basement. I don't even think we came up once, and we were
Oh,
asleep,
that's
like,
great.
half the time. So, yeah, it was good. We started Traders also
Oh, because of Mafia?
because of
Yeah.
Mafia, of course,
I think
so
I'm only 2 episodes into this season. For
mhm.
some reason, I'm not feeling that drawn to finish it, but I might. We'll see.
We just finished episode 2 last night, and we like it. It's, like, a little bit definitely cheesy and
Well, that's,
dramatic.
like, the whole point, yeah, but it can be tough sometimes. Like, I know it's the characters and I get it, but, like, it is sometimes I'm like, "Alright, this is a little long. Let's move it along."
Let's keep it going, let's keep it going. Yeah, but it's good. I'm enjoying it so far. So we are kinda, like, watching some Severance and then, like, a bit of a palate cleanser with Traders because it's, like, not that
Yeah,
serious and I can double scroll while I'm watching
right.
Traders. So it's kinda, like, best case scenario.
Where are you in Severance?
I think we've only seen the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 1. I
Okay.
can't even begin to tell you, like, what's happening,
Yeah,
obviously.
no, you don't have to get into that, but I
So
am caught up for anyone who's also watching, and it really the season 2 is really good. For waiting that long for season 2, it's really great. And I keep getting all of these, like it's one of those shows I kind of forget to, like, think more into things than I see, but then on
yeah.
my For You page, which I appreciate, I'm happy to get the insight from someone else, clearly I'm not fucking smart enough, but, like, there will be all these crazy theories and then, like, a ton of things I didn't notice and just, like, every, like, little thing means something,
Mhm.
which I don't think I realized that when I watched season 1 years ago, and now season 2 is, like, weird to the point where right now you, like, don't really understand what's going on, so then people are trying to piece it together and everyone has their own theories, so it's kinda fun.
I had to mute Severance on
Yeah.
Twitter and, like, a couple other words because I kept seeing things about it, and I was so worried it was gonna get spoiled for me, but I cannot wait to have it all over my TikTok For You page. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Soon enough.
it's kind of all mine right now. Um, just to pivot really quick and then we'll move on, but I I'm talking about my own weekend, obviously. Not much to say other than did say our not farewell. I'm sure I'll see him again before he goes,
Oh,
but said our
yeah.
goodbyes to Connor at his going away party, which was really, really sweet. He was super emotional. I was super emotional. Everyone was emotional.
Aw.
And that was just really fun. Sad to see him go, obviously, but I'm happy for him. So that was fun.
Why why is he moving to New York other than to just move to New York?
I think he just likes it. I don't know
Yeah.
what he's said as his reasoning, but so I don't wanna say anything off of
Yeah, I don't
that.
wanna, like, out him, obviously, but
No, but he just, like he has a lot of really close friends in New York. Not that he doesn't in LA, but, like, he, like, has people that he's been friends with way longer there, and he just, like, isn't really feeling super connected to LA right now.
Yeah, I didn't
But
know if it had something to do with, like, a job. opportunity out there or something or what, but
No, I think he just, like, goes there a lot and every time loves it, and then because he's
yeah.
been saying this to me for so long, like, truly, like, since before I even moved here. This is why I never thought it was gonna actually happen because that's how he is, like, he's
Mhm.
like, "I'm gonna move to New York," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." Like, so it wasn't a surprise to any of us, but I think it was a surprise that it's, like, actually in motion, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was a surprise party for him, and
Oh,
he
I didn't know that.
yeah, he says he was surprised, but I do think he knew. I don't know. But, like,
Oh.
anyway, he was out to, I guess, a brunch with his like, some other of his friends, and then everyone, like, came to the house while they were gone. So then he was, like, coming there after, and he was, like, so confused because he was saying, "Let's keep going out. Let's go to the next place. Like, it's a beautiful day. It's Saturday." And they're like, "No, let's just, like, go back." And then he was surprised about that piece, I think, but he did hear us upstairs, of course, because everyone was like, it's my friends, like, everyone's gonna be, like, yelling.
Naturally, yeah.
But yeah, it was really sweet when he walked up, and yeah, it was just so fun. It was, like, everyone from all of his walks of life, which was really fun.
Yeah, I felt like even I was getting, like, nostalgic about you, Brooke, and Connor, and, like, your guys' journey
Yeah.
together as friends. I can't believe it.
I know, it is really it's sad that he is leaving for that reason because I feel like I just got here even though that's not the case, but I'm like, I just
Mhm.
like having him, like, close by. So it
Yeah.
is a bummer, but I'm sure he'll be here a lot, which is good.
I c
And
I can't
Brooke
believe oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, like, I know a lot of our listeners cross over with BNC, and now they have to listen to 2 long distance pods. Feel
I
awful about
know.
that.
I'm sure they'll have a much better setup. Shout out
What?
TMG.
That's so weird. I don't know why you would
But,
say that.
but yeah, 2 long distance pods. I'm sure, like, Brooke and I were just on the phone before I got on here and, like, talking about going to New York, so I'm sure we'll go and see him, and he'll be here and see us, so it'll be fine, and he's been away so much that it doesn't feel like that different, but it is just the feeling of, like, I like having him in
Yeah.
in arm's reach to me,
Well,
so it is really sad.
surely Connor's a coastal elite, so he'll be back and forth, of
Yeah,
course.
we Brooke and I were trying to convince him to get a place here, um, like, just, like, a small place that he can have both, but he wasn't we're not sure if he's gonna move forward with that yet, but we're gonna try to convince him.
Maybe eventually when he
He is,
realizes
like,
how back
giving
and
all of
forth he
his,
is.
I know. He's giving away a bunch of shit, though, and I, like, wanna go to his estate sale really badly because 'cause he's got some good shit.
Connor's estate sale.
He's,
Perfect.
like, doesn't want, like, his books and stuff, and I'm like, "I'll take the books."
My goodness, that's such a boy thing.
I know, but anyway,
Easier to sell
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my Saturday, which was super fun, and then Sunday, um, watched a movie at Brooks, Miles came with, and then we watched the Grammys, so it was a great weekend. Nothing
I
crazy,
do
but
I do really, really wanna talk about the Grammys.
yeah, I don't have that much to say because unfortunately I had to leave midway through, which was tough for me, obviously, but, um but I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really good, and then I watched everyone's performances and speeches that I wanted to watch after, so
Well, of course. I will say I think my biggest disappointment of the year is I'm so sad that Billy did not win, like, a single thing, which
mhm,
sucks, because I do think out of all the albums nominated, like, she was, like, probably, like, top 2 for me, so I was really
mhm.
pretty bummed about that, and then there was that photo circulating of her looking sad as hell after album of the
Yeah.
year, and I don't know if she was, like, because I felt like the whole night was pretty emotional, so I don't know if she
Yeah.
was, like, already crying due to just, like, the vibe and, like or being happy for Beyoncé or, like, true disappointment, I have no idea. But I
Was
just
that
wanted to give her a
confirmed, like,
hug.
while you were watching? Was that, like, cut in at the time that she lost? It
Yeah, because
was?
I do think that they very frequently show the reactions to other
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who lose, because I specifically remember, like, when Beyoncé won country album, they cut to, like, Lainey Wilson, to
Yeah,
Casey.
no, they always do that. I just was wondering
Yeah.
if Twitter, like, saw it another time and ran with it or
Mm.
something.
If I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure they did show her while that was
Aw.
happening.
That
Yeah.
is sad. I'm sure it was a mixture of, like, just a lot of emotions and then also
Mhm.
being disappointed.
Yeah, because they cut to Lady Gaga too randomly, and I mean, she was, like, full blown, like, tears streaming down her face
Mhm.
because she loves Beyoncé, of course, so,
Yeah, God,
um
yeah.
but yeah, I was also really happy for her. I mean, it was a very, very cool moment, and I think I've watched the replay so many times of everyone, like, jumping up in the crowd. That was so good. Doechii,
Yeah.
oh my fucking
I love her
god.
so much.
I was full blown, like, also tears streaming down my face when she won
Yeah.
Best Rap Album.
Mhm.
Um, I just, like, couldn't it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful moment. Everything she said was so on point too. Like, her performance was by far the best of the night. I think her and Chapel, like, head to head, like, it oh my god, so good. So, so, so good.
Yeah, and her speech was so beautiful too,
It
and
really
just made me so
was.
emotional. I was just she's just so, like it's so nice to see someone so not that everyone isn't, but, like, she's so deserving and has been working
Mhm.
so hard for so long, same as Chapel,
Yeah.
but, like, it's just cool to see it all come together for them finally.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I felt like so many of them that had been working so hard, like, I mean, Sabrina's been in the industry for so
Mhm.
long, Chapel's been working her ass off. I mean, obviously same with Doechii, like, Beyoncé's never won album of the year, like, it was just such a good night. I really, really enjoyed it. I was trying to think what else. Um, Obviously, some of our predictions were we did predictions on our Patreon episode, that we
Yeah.
put out last week. I think
But I
a
feel
lot
like
of
we
them
didn't
were
even really,
wrong.
like I think, yeah. But we didn't even really, like, predict every category, we were kinda just, like,
Yeah.
giving our thoughts. I think Emily gave more predictions than I did, but you
Mhm.
said all of them were wrong?
I think a g a good portion of them were wrong.
Okay.
We did say that we thought that Not Like Us by Kendrick was probably gonna do a pretty good job, and he
Yeah.
did sweep. I mean, he won the most awards that night. I think if I was Drake, I would have to maybe off myself after everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's not even over yet because he performs at the Super Bowl this weekend, so, I don't
yeah, I
know,
don't really,
that's
like,
tough.
give a fuck how Drake feels, I just don't know the guy. But, yeah, I would also be pretty, like yeah, that would suck.
I mean, imagine, like, the world's biggest music stars all together singing the words to a diss track about you that swept the Grammys.
No, it is so crazy that it, like, went it did that well. That
Like,
is insane.
it's crazy. Um, I'm trying to think what else happened. Obviously Taylor didn't win anything. I'm completely fine with that. She looked like she was having the greatest fucking time of her life. She's so millennial, but she was
Yeah, I had to fight Brett on that a little bit, and then also just,
mhm,
like, I'm not really surrounded by any Taylor Swift fans, which is fine, but, like, I'm just constantly kind of holding my tongue because I don't like it's not my favorite thing that Taylor is, like, up and dancing. I think she's really cringy, and, like,
mhm,
I don't think she wears great outfits. I've always said this, but, like, she has always been cringy. Like, she will always be. She's owned that since the beginning, and I do genuinely think that she's just having fun and being supportive, and I think a lot of people think it's like, "Oh, she just wants the attention on her, like,
attention, yeah,
she's
mhm,
drunk," and, like, there might be a little bit of pick me vibes there, like, totally, like, I mean, she is literally like, "Pick me," like, I am the best not the best musician, but, like, one of the most famous artists in the world. But
yeah,
also, I do think, like, it's consistent, she's always done this. She's like she does this when she's with Travis out, she does this at the games, like, she's always just likes to have fun, so I'm like, if she wasn't doing it constantly, and then I'd be like, "Why is she doing that at the Grammys?" But it seems
right.
like it's, like, just genuinely who she is and she's having fun. So, like, it's not what I would be doing because 'cause I'd be, like, crawling out of my skin, like, I couldn't do that at the Grammys. But I think it's fine that that's what she's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree. It really doesn't bother me at all. If anything, it makes me like giggle and laugh. And I completely agree. Yeah, like sometimes it is cringy. I always wonder if she like thinks that she needs to like act outwardly like, positive and enthusiastic about everything because I do feel like otherwise she would just be called, like, a raging bitch, you know what I mean? Like, especially when she's, like, losing I mean, she gets nominated for so many categories, and she lost every single one, so if she was just sitting there, there would be so many people online calling her, like, a sore fucking loser. So
Yeah, I think that's she really can't win, unfortunately, which I think a lot of people don't understand, but like, if she stopped doing that, because she's always done that at the Grammys, by the way. Like, she's always
Mhm.
like that. If she stopped doing that, people would be like, "What the fuck?"
What's wrong
Yeah,
with
if she
her?
wasn't doing,
Yeah.
I don't know, if she wasn't having the same fun she always is, then everyone would be like, "Oh, she's clearly mad at the nominees of this year." Like, I just don't really think she can do anything right. So I'm kind of just like, I stand with her in the way of like, not the outfit I would have worn to the Grammys. Do I think she looked good? Yeah. Do I think she felt confident and liked the outfit? Yeah.
Mhm.
Not what I'd be doing at the Grammys. Do I think it's a little cringy? Yeah. Do I think it's fine? Yeah. Like,
W
I just don't know why people like care so much.
Took
Brett,
the
this is
words.
at Brett.
Brett's story was absolutely fucking killing me with the last, like, 24 hours. It's so sad that it's gonna be gone by the time this episode comes out, but he has been absolutely cracking
He's
me
just
up.
like blasting
He
out
just can't
so
stop.
mad. It's
He
so
can't stop.
crazy. I was like,
It's
which
so
I,
funny.
I know that, and like, to be fair to Brett, who is literally my best friend, like, there are a lot of people who don't have the same headspace as Emily and I who are like attacking Brett via DM,
Yeah.
which is like
Mhm.
a whole different thing, which is why he feels like he needs to like make responses to
Yeah.
those people. And I get that those people exist, but I do think I think they're, I don't know. I don't see it as much anymore, at least. I feel like it was very like cult like Taylor. I think it still is, but I think people are more understanding of her wrongs and her rights, you know? I don't know.
I would like to think so as well. I feel like besides like defending Taylor, I feel like I've been going toe to toe with people on like Beyonce's wins this year as well. And I'm like,
Mhm.
can a woman do anything right anymore? Like,
Yeah.
especially a Black woman, like, it's getting ridiculous. I have had a conversation with so many older people who have been freaking out about her
Mhm.
winning Country Album of the Year, and every single time I've asked them, "Have you listened to it?" And every single time they've said no. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Then you have no leg to stand on." Like, how can you even be bringing this up to me when you have not listened? I do not understand. It makes no fucking sense to me.
I just don't get, people act like they were nominated in the category and they're upset like, "Babe, like why do you give a fuck?" Like she clearly
Literally.
is like went out of her comfort zone, did something amazing. I personally really love that album. And
Yeah.
obviously a lot of other people did. Just because you never listened to it doesn't mean that it wasn't like meaningful to so many other people. I feel like people forget that with the Grammys. Like, even like random ass people who are nominated, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like, they don't deserve to win. I'm like, clearly a lot of other people do. And a lot of other people like really enjoyed this person. I just
Yeah.
am not like in that community, and that's fine, but it doesn't mean that they're like not deserving if they win. It's just like so fucking annoying. Like,
It's just like there's so much else in the world to put your energy into right now and get upset
literally,
about. Like
literally.
let's let's take a breath and
I
pause,
feel like
really
you'll be
think about what
fine
we're
on the
saying.
country
Yeah.
category. Like, I really think you will be fine,
I
truly.
think everyone's gonna be okay. Speaking of country, I fucking hated Casey Musgrave's outfit, and I love her so much and hated her outfit. It was actually making my skin crawl. I don't know if you saw it, but, like, I'm nauseous thinking about it
Oh,
right now. It
wasn't it
was
like a
so
white
bad.
tube top?
Yes, tank
Yeah.
top.
Oh, tank top with the gold skirt. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, it was so awful. I think it was the worst one of the night. It was so bad.
Yeah, I didn't love that. Obviously, I actually actively disliked it. If the whole dress was like the gold, then it would have been
Yeah.
fine. I don't understand the creative choice to make it look like a Zara or an Aritzia tank. Like, I really don't.
It was literally like yeah, I genuinely couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, "Tell me this is like a pre-show look or something
Yeah,
at the very
God.
least." It was so bad. So, so, so bad. But yeah, other than that, I
I thought
really
all the
hope that I
performances were
never
good.
oh my god, yeah, the section where they did the new artist, they let all the new artists that were nominated perform was so good. I really do hope I never have to see Benson Boone sing on the VMAs or the Grammys stage again. I'm over
It's
it.
not for me. Yeah,
It's really not
we've
for
all seen
me.
it.
I don't need to hear "Lose Control" live again also.
Mhm.
I'm completely good on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
everything was so good. Sabrina's performance was so good. Chapel, tears in my eyes when the crowd started singing Pink Pony Club back to her during the
Yeah,
bridge. I
same.
mean, so beautiful. So
It was
good.
great. I thought it was a good overall Grammys. And that
It's
being said, I do think we should probably move on just due to the
oh,
time frame.
you're absolutely right. The only thing I was gonna say was that it was the best I felt in the last, like, 3 weeks.
What about your
Like,
birthday weekend? Wasn't that the
w
best you felt?
and it was. I was gonna say, like, consuming, like, media. It was, like, the best I felt.
Okay, okay, fine.
You know what I mean?
In the media category, that's
In the
fair.
media category, yeah.
I can go first with an advice if you're okay with that and willing and able to hear me out for once in your fucking life.
Yeah, I guess so. That's fine.
Okay. Hey girls, I'm in desperate need of your advice. So for context, I've been living with my sister, 28, I'm 25, for 2 years, and I've been dating my boyfriend for 2.5 years. I recently decided that I feel ready to move in with my boyfriend, so I had that conversation with my sister and gave her 3 months notice for when I plan to move out. I offered to help her find another roommate to live in our current apartment or to help her find a 1 bedroom apartment that she can afford. She essentially freaked the fuck out on me, is refusing to sign off on the 60-day notice that's required to leave our apartment, has been ignoring me at home, and in a text message said that I'm abandoning her and throwing her aside like a piece of trash, and that 3 months' notice isn't enough time. I already felt horribly guilty for having to leave our living situation because I, for the most part, take care of her by cleaning and cooking, etc., as she struggles with her mental health, and now feel 100 times worse. Yay! Any words of wisdom you can offer would be so appreciated. Love you both to dang death in a parasocial way.
This is her sister?
Yeah,
That's crazy. But I guess, like, sisters do kind of get a pass to, like, say crazy things sometimes, you know what I mean?
that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, it's all love there. I feel like right now, with that same train of thought, like, she's just really just letting it all out right now, and I think, like, eventually she'll come to terms with it. I think she's just really hurt, and because you guys are sisters and you'll have each other in your lives forever, she feels like it's okay to say those things, which still sucks. Um, I don't even know where I would go with that. I mean, like, obviously, she's gonna move out. Like, it's not like she's gonna change her mind and not move out. Um,
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, other than giving her space and time, I don't know what else to say.
I know. I was like, just wanted to read this to kind of validate her, one, because the advice that I would give for anyone in this situation is like everything she already did. So it's
Yeah.
like she gave her the time, was really open with her. Like 3 months is a long time. I
Mhm.
think like you're doing all the right things, so it's just tough. Like, I mean, tell her you love her, I guess, but it's also like so unfair to you to have to deal with her. I mean, like I even understand like a sister at first being like, "You're fucking leaving me? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?" Like, and you get in a fight about that, whatever. But then I feel like within even like hours, you'd have to be like, "Hey, I get it. I just
I
like
understand.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss you, like whatever." And I feel like it will come to a point, like you said, like where it gets to that where you guys are like, okay. But clearly, like she's just having issues in her personal life, like one with her mental health, and then I'm sure she doesn't want like a different roommate or doesn't want to find her own place. But you're also offering to help her. So you're like literally doing all the right like if she didn't include that, I would have been like, why don't you not that she needs to be doing this,
Needs
but
to,
like
right, but still.
I would have been like, why don't you help her find a new place or something? Because sometimes that can be helpful. That's overwhelming. But she's like already doing all of that. So there's not even like advice that I can really give her. I'd have to like talk to the sister and shake her.
Did she mention if she's moving far in the beginning?
I doubt it. I don't think so. But no,
Yeah.
she didn't mention it, but it didn't seem like it. I feel like she would have said that.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, she can just, which I'm sure she already has, just be like, "I'm not going far. We can still see each other. We can still hang out. We can still get dinner." It's not like she's, like, never gonna see her again. Um, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, in this situation, let her say her piece. Hopefully, she comes around and apologizes. I'm, like, thinking, does she not like the boyfriend or something? Like,
Her
doesn't
sister's
make
28 and she's 25. And no, I feel like if
the
she would have,
sister's older?
yeah, I just would looked back to make sure
Whoa.
that I was correct when I said that. But that's what I don't like. Yeah, she's 28. I actually do think it'll probably be a good moment for her. Like, if you're doing a lot of the stuff for her, like cooking, cleaning, I think eventually
Mhm.
it'll probably be better for both of you, where she like truly learns how to live by herself. And hopefully she can
Yeah.
find a 1 bedroom that she can afford and do that. Because I understand being pissed about like Not I'm not saying at you, but, like, pissed that you have to find a new roommate, if that's the situation, that can be hard, and I understand being annoyed about that, but not again, not necessarily at you. But I think she's gonna have to, like, figure it out on her own. I think eventually it'll be better for both of you.
Yeah, time and space and maybe just continuously, like, checking in on her and seeing
But
how
I think,
things
like,
are,
one of
what
the
she's
big problems is
thinking.
she won't sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
continue.
fine. No, 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 that was it, that was all I was saying.
Okay. Um, like, she won't sign the 60-day notice, so that's, like, a
Oh,
big
right.
issue.
I forgot about that part.
Just
Forge your signature.
forge her signature. That's all I can think of.
Perfect. I mean,
Uh,
literally take her hand and sign it while she's asleep, I don't know. That's what
I
is she
mean,
gonna do? Have to take legal action against her sister? She's gonna come around. I don't know, I feel good about that.
I think she'll come around too. I'm just trying to yeah, I guess, like I know it's tough because she's kinda being respectfully, like, bitchy, but, like, I
Yeah.
think you might just have to give her a little only because it's your sister. If it was a friend, I wouldn't be saying this, but a little extra reassurance, like Emily was saying, like, we're still gonna see each other, like, all the time. It's just not the
You're my
living
fucking
situation.
sister.
Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
love you, and
Yeah.
then hopefully she'll come around because it would be easier or easy as a sister to also be like, "No, fuck you, like, sign the papers," but it doesn't seem like that's how we're gonna get her to sign, you know?
I'm so shocked, like, it doesn't give older sister vibes as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, and also, like, sister or not, she's in her late 20s. You can act like that a little bit towards your sister, but not you can't really act like that. Like, you're
Yeah, well,
acting
like you
like a
said,
teenager.
it might be the shove that she needs to, like, get her shit figured out respectfully.
And it seems like it will be, hopefully. So,
Yeah.
let us know how it all goes because it seems like you'll have to figure it out pretty soon here.
Mm.
But good luck. I'm sorry we couldn't be more helpful. That's a tough situation, but you're not doing anything wrong, so don't feel like you are.
I have no sister to give perspective on this, just a little brother that I would
My
literally be
sister's
like,
12, so
"The fuck
I
is wrong
can't.
with you?"
Yeah, if my brothers did that, I don't know,
Right,
but
you
then you also have, like, a soft spot for them, so it's so tough.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I think that's why she's writing in with, like, completely understand where she's coming from. She's being a
yeah.
raging bitch about it, though.
Yeah,
Whew, okay, I do have an advice that I would like to read, if you guys will have me.
please.
Alright. Hi, Kat and Emily, love the pod. I have a pretty stressful job, and listening to you guys honestly makes me feel so much better in my commute, so love you girls for that. I apologize in advance if this is somewhat long, but I need some advice on how to proceed with some drama with a friend recently. About 3 months ago, I got married, and one of my good friends, we can call her Amy, was a bridesmaid. About a month before the wedding, her and her boyfriend, who was a groomsman at our wedding, broke up. Of course, I know she was dealing with a lot emotionally, and I completely understand seeing him at the wedding would be hard. But as one of my closest friends, I still expected her to be present emotionally and physically for me on one of the most important days of my life. The night before the wedding, after the rehearsal dinner, a bunch of people ended up hanging out and drinking at one of the Airbnbs. According to another bridesmaid, Amy hooked up with her ex and didn't return to her hotel room until 6 a.m. the morning of the wedding, still drunk. She didn't come to get ready with me and the rest of the bridesmaids, but does eventually come to the venue around the same time as us. However, the rest of the night, I never saw her. And I hear later from multiple people that she was crying to them in the bathroom at different points in the night, including my now husband's mom and sister. Mind you, these are all people she's never met before. Honestly, more than anything, I feel for her because I'm sure I would be upset seeing my ex at a wedding shortly after ending things. But I guess I hope she would put her feelings aside just for one day. Some things to add during my batch trip, she missed all the morning events because she stayed up super late 2 nights in a row to talk to her ex. They were still together at this time. She also spent most of the last day crying about him, even though they weren't broken up yet. Anyways, it's been 3 months since then, and I've yet to hear a word from her, except for when I texted her the day after the wedding to make sure she was okay and still alive because I tracked her location, and she was still at the hotel 24 hours later, even after everyone already left. Do I reach out to her? I feel hurt that she hasn't said anything to me. I don't even really expect an apology because I understand she was going through a lot at that time. And honestly, maybe she's a little embarrassed by her behavior, but if the roles were reversed, I feel like I would have reached out. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong. I don't know. Anyways, just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. Love you guys so much.
This is just, like, another example of, like, what I was just talking about, like, you have to be an adult even when you're, like, upset, like I think it's really obviously, yeah, that's really tough. Like you're going through a breakup. It's with you're in a wedding with you're a bridesmaid, he's a groomsman. Like it should be super fucking fun. You break up and then you have to see your friends get married. Like
Yeah.
that is really hard and I sympathize with her about that, but you just can't like you have to prioritize your friend that's getting married. Like I'm sorry. I don't think like anyone would be super upset, but I'm picturing, like, any of my close friends in that situation, and I don't think any of them would act like that.
I would be so fucking pissed if like, because I feel like there are a couple excusable things. Like, for example, getting really fucked up, hooking up with her ex the night before the wedding, staying out till 6 AM, sure, fine. But if you're
Mhm.
gonna decide to do that, you still need to follow through with the rest of your responsibilities as my bridesmaid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you're one of my best friends. I want you getting ready in the suite with me. Hopefully, I only get married once in my life. Like, that's not something I want you to miss out on or us to miss out on an experience together like that. And then to not be able to, like, be around her the night of the wedding too. Like, I understand there's a lot of things going on, but to hear that, like, one of my closest friends spent the evening drunk crying in the bathroom to all of my new family members, like my in-laws, I'd be mortified.
Yeah. I think, like, even in my opinion, even, like, the drunk crying during the wedding can be more excused for me because I'm like
Sure, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you should be celebrating with your friend 100%, I agree with you, but
I
also,
guess she
like,
didn't bother her, like,
she
it's not like
yeah,
she was
she
drunk
had a
crying to
bunch
the
of other
bride.
people to talk to and
Mhm.
hang out with, like, it's not cool, but it's like if she's really, really in a bad place, like, I can see that happening, and I do think the bigger crime here is, like, not following up and apologizing. Like, I think if I was in that situation, like you said, the 6 AM thing is fine. Again, you need to be there when you said you would be there the next morning.
Mhm.
Like, I don't really
Yeah.
care if you're still drunk or if you are tired, like, it doesn't really matter. And that's not even, like, someone being a bride's like, this person was like, "Maybe I'm in the wrong." You're that's not even, like that's the bare fucking minimum, and I'm sure you did
Yeah.
things to accommodate her that morning, like, I'm sure you got breakfast for everyone and maybe, like, outfits or something, I don't know, but I just feel like you expect someone to be there, you do all of this planning, you want them there, but yeah, I think, like, the biggest thing is that she didn't not the biggest thing, but, like, it hurts even more because she didn't reach out at all, I don't know.
I feel like in these situations, we always say, well, like, if it's bothering you, you should reach out. But I don't know. I feel like this would rub me the wrong way so much that I would be standing your ground and being like, I'm not reaching out. Like,
No, I don't
she's
think
completely in the wrong.
yeah, I agree that we usually do say that. I was gonna say do not reach out because one, she already reached out, like to make sure she was okay after the wedding, which I
Hmm.
think it should have been roles reversed and her reaching out to like say, I'm so sorry. Like I wasn't like I really feel like even if she was like, I'm in a really bad state emotionally, it was really hard for me to see him and I wasn't there for you and I totally acknowledge that. I feel like y'all would have worked it out. Like it seems like she's really understanding. It would have just like been like a yeah, that really sucked, but, like, let's move forward. But because
Yeah.
she didn't like, the bride checked in on her, and then she hasn't reached out since, and, yeah, she might be just, like, really embarrassed, but I don't that doesn't mean
Still
you
one of
need
your
to be
closest
like
friends.
yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean you need to be reaching out to her. I don't know. I really do think I would leave the ball in her court, even though it's super disappointing, it might have just been the moment where she, like, shows you who she is. And she might like get out of this breakup stage where she's really sad and which does happen and be like, I really kind of handled that like shit and I'm so sorry. And maybe I'll be fine, but I think it has to be from her.
Well, that now that you've just said that, I'm wondering, like, is the other friend holding it against her for not reaching out because she's going through a breakup?
But it doesn't like maybe, but that I don't think that that's a valid reason, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to see, where did she said? They broke up a month before the wedding. So, I mean,
Yeah, and I
she
feel
was
like
there
this would
for
be
yeah.
more
Mm.
understandable if it was like a week before.
Yeah, that's the yeah, a couple days before, a week before for sure. 'Cause it's still very, very fresh, very new. Yeah, I don't know. I that sucks. I'm really sorry. I would be extremely disappointed as well. And I definitely don't think the bride who wrote the story did a single thing wrong at all.
No. Yeah, it's just honestly weird behavior. Yeah, it actually I'm glad you said that it was a month before because I understand like the shock, like your heart is literally broken. I totally get that. Like it can take a little bit to become a normal human again. And if it was like a week or days before, I'd probably be way more like excusing of their behavior.
Mhm.
But a month is like you had that. I know a month isn't enough time to get over someone, but like you had the time to like kind of process it a little bit
Prepare
more.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair still. Um, I wouldn't reach out personally.
Mhm, me too.
Okay. All right, here's a story, not an advice. Hi girls, love the pod and love the pharmacist shout out last week. I'm looking for some advice and maybe someone to tell me if I'm crazy or not. Apologies for the length. The story starts with me meeting a man on Hinge in the beginning of 2020, right before the world shut down. We texted for a bit and then we met up for a walk because obviously everywhere was shut down for COVID, which led me going back to his place. I did my sleuthing and checked all the arrest records and anything online for his name, so felt in the clear going back to his house after knowing him for 1 hour, lol. Anyways, we immediately clicked, unlike I had with anyone before, and essentially began spending every day together. We started dating a few months in, and everything was great. He was really sweet and fun, a little dumb, but I could look past that. Around a year and a half years in, we were hanging out at his apartment when the police knocked on the door and he started freaking out an abnormal amount. He smoked weed and began putting everything into my bag to hide it for some reason. Anyways, the police were there for something unrelated, but he then let me know that he was on parole because he had been in jail. What an interesting thing to find out about someone you've been with for almost 2 years and who also was fine with me getting a potential drug charge for them. We had traveled all over the country, visiting his family in a different state, with him not supposed to be leaving the county ever coming up. Turns out he had been charged with sexual assault and stalking in college and spent 9 months in jail. He obviously said this was all a lie and he couldn't have told me sooner or I wouldn't date him. LOL. I'll spare you the details, but needless to say, we broke up. None of this is actually relevant to the advice. So it is actually an advice, but I thought I'd share the lore and warn other girls that you never really know what you're getting into and to check the arrest records for all states on the internet that men have lived in. Fast forward 4 years, I am back with my boyfriend who loves and respects women, and we bought a house in the suburbs. We live in one of the biggest cities in the US, but in a small random suburb outside of town. Imagine my surprise when I'm walking my dog and see said ex boyfriend outside his new house right down the street from me. I now feel super uncomfortable in my own neighborhood and don't even want to walk my dog. Am I crazy, or what are the chances that this man, who has no reason to even live in this state anymore, moves into the same neighborhood as me? Am I just obsessed with myself to think this? We haven't talked since we broke up, and it has been a few months since I found out he lives there, but I get to see him essentially every day when I drive by his house at the front of the neighborhood. Should I say something? Is there anything I can do to make this situation better? Thanks, girls. Would love to hear anything you have to say. Also, I'm 26 now.
A story had me fully, like, sit up. This is insane.
It's even more insane, like, reading it out loud. Like, when I read it, like, I was shocked, but now I'm even, like, more shocked.
Well, because I was like, "Oh my" I mean, to be fair, like, I sat up when she brought up the sexual assault and the stalking charges, but then I literally jolted again when she talked about how he's in her fucking neighborhood. First of all, she needs to tell everyone she knows that what's happening, because like, God forbid something does happen. Like, everyone that she comes into contact with, like, her boyfriend, her family, her closest friends need to know that, like, this man, her ex, who has charges, is in her neighborhood.
Yeah, I agree, and I also wonder I know it's not that serious, and I mean, it is serious, but, like, I know he hasn't contacted you or anything, but, like and I know the police probably won't do shit, but I almost would, like, talk to the police or something just to see. Like, I don't really know, but it's just only because of what his charges were, obviously, like stalking an ex, it's so
Mhm.
weird that he lives in the neighborhood. And like who is he living with? Why the fuck does he live there? It just doesn't make sense.
I know, I feel like, because I don't think she should reach out to him, because I would wanna get all the information too, be like, "How did he end up here? What has he been doing?" But I don't think she should talk to him at all, but I do think
God,
that
no. No, not at
information
all.
would be helpful. I would like to think, isn't it a crazy thought that, like, being like, "Yeah, well, definitely go to the police," but they're probably not gonna help you, which is
No, it really
fucked.
is like Yeah, my
It's
my mind's
crazy.
like, talk to someone at the police who and just, like, make them aware of it, but then I'm like, I also know that will do nothing, which is so sad, but and I mean
Um, I mean, because there's so many red flags here. I mean, obviously, just the initial, like, sex assault, stalking to begin with, massive, major red flags. The fact that he didn't tell you because of the nature of them is so fucking scary. So they broke up what? She's been with her new man for 4 years now, so they broke up, like,
yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, and she
Mhm.
moved far from where she was dating the ex? What did she say again? I know she said big city, she's in the suburbs.
I don't know if she said, like she didn't say how far she moved, but, like hold on. Let
Same
me
neighborhood is fucking crazy, like, not even same town, same neighborhood?
Yeah, she
Oh
said,
my
like, a
god.
small random suburb outside of town. Um, like, she did say who has no reason to even live in this state anymore, so I don't know if maybe it's the same state. Like, okay, I will say, not to make you, like, super stressed out, there's obviously a chance that it is a coincidence, but it's just, like, a crazy coincidence with all of the context, and I
Yeah.
like we were saying, like, obviously don't contact him, but I feel like I would need an explanation to move forward, like, why exactly he's there.
I mean, I would immediately be looking up, like, the Zillow link to find out, like, how soon that the house was bought or, like, how soon he had rented it, because if the timeline matches up for when she got there, that would be pretty fucking weird, but maybe he was there before, which would be helpful. Um,
Yeah, anyway, I don't think you're obsessed with yourself at all, it's something that, like, truly
yeah.
anyone would be concerned about. It's pretty, like, black and white. I do think first thing, like Emily said, is to tell everyone. Like, tell everyone that you trust. Make sure your boyfriend knows, is, like, completely in the loop. I don't know. She didn't, like, say explicitly. I'm assuming she told him, but she didn't say that explicitly, so I just think that's important too.
I'm not yeah, and I don't wanna, like, fear monger or anything, but, like, when you walk your dog, like, carry pepper spray, don't wear your headphones, I don't know. That's, like, just so scary. I don't know, I don't trust him at all, and I know she probably doesn't either, and I'm sure she's being safe and smart about everything. I just it makes me so nervous. I'm so sorry. This is probably so traumatic. I mean, you get so excited, you buy a house
I
with your
know, that's what I
man who
was
you
just
love.
thinking.
You probably love your neighborhood, your community, and now your psycho ex. I'm curious how their relationship ended. Like, if they did end up on good terms, I'm assuming she broke up with that, but was he, like, crazy in the first couple months of their breakup? Like
Yeah, I mean, to be f it makes me feel better that it's been so long and
mhm,
there hasn't been any sort of, like if there was any other context, I think of, like, him contacting her, him, like,
yeah.
being obsessed with her, I think we would've heard that. So that makes me feel better for you, and I think that's a good sign, but also, like, I don't like him even seeing you, you know?
At all, yeah.
Yeah, and she just said, "I'll spare you the details, but we broke up." So there could be more to it, but I think it seems like she just broke up with him once she found out about everything. I'm
I
sure
feel
he
like
put up a
if
little bit of a fight, but
yeah, I'm sure if something happened, because it would have been obviously relevant to the story that she would've included the details. Ugh, I'm so sorry. God, that's so shitty.
I'm so sorry too. I
Damn.
wish I had, like, better advice for this, but I think I honestly, like, for a little bit wouldn't even be, like, walking alone, which I know is so like, again,
It
just moved into
sucks,
this new
yeah.
neighborhood and, like, it's so exciting, and it's nice to be able to, like, walk around your neighborhood and feel safe, like, that's fucking annoying. Um, but I would just be, like, super cautious about it, which I hate. And I wish the
Yeah.
police could do something because it's not like I'm sure he has a restraining order against the first girlfriend, but it's not like he has one against her, and there's
Mhm.
no interaction for them to go off of, so that's why I'm thinking they would do nothing. But it does seem like if someone like, logically, if someone has a stalking case against an ex-girlfriend and then they move on the same street as another ex-girlfriend, like, that should be something that the police give a fuck about, but I'm sure that they wouldn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's at least enough for them to just, like, look into it and find out, like, when he got to the neighborhood, who he's living with, like, what he's been up to. You know what I mean? Just, like, a few details to help her, like, literally fucking sleep at night.
Yeah, I do think, like, it would be worth the conversation even if you're shut down of just, like, putting it on someone's radar. I don't know, just to, like, cover all your bases, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Mm.
I really am hopeful that it's just, like, a really obviously, that was all a really long time ago. I'm hoping that it was just, like, a really strange coincidence, but it just again, seems insane. Also, this is so not important to everything you said in the story, but him like shoving his drugs in her
Oh,
backpack
yeah,
as
I
he's getting
forgot
caught,
about that.
I literally be like, "Fuck
I'd be like, "What
you."
the fuck are you doing?" Yeah.
Like completely
Oh my
irrelevant
god.
after everything else she said,
What
but
did
I
the
was like,
cops come to the door for? We didn't get that information
well,
either.
I guess they were just maybe his parole officers.
Oh, duh.
And he might have been violating because I think they came because he violated parole because like she said like he had left the county a bunch of times so maybe something violated and they came because I don't think it'd be multiple cops showing up to the door if it was just like your parole officer, so I think it would be like a violation, you know.
Dating someone for 2 fucking years and then having that happen,
And
my
him being
god.
like, "Well, I couldn't have told you because you wouldn't have dated me." Like,
No
yeah,
fuck.
that's the whole
Literally.
point. That's
Of course,
so
babe.
scary, like
Oh my
terrifying.
god.
Also, like he's definitely wouldn't you would be a registered sex offender in the state then, right? If he's in the same state.
I guess. I'm
So
not
I'd like
I'm not up to speed on
alert
my
my
my s
neighbors.
yeah, my sex offender laws at this time, I don't know.
Well, like I
Whew.
think you could like look him up and see like because it's public record if someone's a sex offender.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he had to like let the neighborhood know. That would be crazy in her neighborhood. It's
I
just
cannot
nuts.
fucking believe that. Whew. Alright,
I'm
well,
so sorry.
I know, me too. I feel fucking awful. I feel fucking awful for all my girls today. I do have a story that I really want to read, but I want to be able to have everyone's attention. So I think I'm going to save it for next week and maybe we
Oh,
can
you're
start it.
kidding. It's that
It's
good?
good. I think it's good. I don't think it's as crazy and like unsettling as this story is, but I do think it's a good story. So, um I'll save it for next week. So,
Okay, we'll do that one first next week. I'm sorry to end on
yeah.
an unsettling note, but we love our girl, obviously, and all we want is for you to be safe. I wish there was
Mhm.
something more that I could do and more that I could say, but I'm excited to hear your story next week.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to read it. Yeah, I guess that's it for this week. I hope everyone enjoys their day, whatever day of the week they're listening. We will chat with you girls next week.
Hey, all right, love you girls.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.